Good morning, Kippy. Saturday again. Good morning. How are we all today? I hope everyone is well and ready for another Saturday 9 a.m. practice. Looking forward to guiding you through it today. Who's going to be first on today? Let's see. Yay, it's Jan again. Haribol, Jan. Haribol. First on again. Fantastic. Good morning, George. Morning, Peter. Morning, John. Get my scrolling finger ready. Good morning, Colin. Morning, Scott, Margaret Ann. Lovely. Good morning, Jane. Morning, George, Warrior George and Dr. George aboard. Ruth and Ishbak, good morning. Morning, Sheila, how are you? You know, it's so heartwarming to see all your names coming up every Saturday morning. It really is. It's lovely. Morning, Alison. Good morning, Valerie. You know, even after all these weeks, morning, Greg. I sign on, I press that live button, and I think, will anyone come? Maybe no one will come today. And then ping, 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 you all come on board. And it's such a lovely feeling. Morning, Mandy. Morning, Andy. I'm doing fine, thank you. Morning, Peter. Morning, Alison. New routine today, everyone. I hope you're going to find it interesting and educational. Anything to report, do let me know. Good morning, Shona. Morning, Lorna. I'm excited about this routine. Some of you have done it with me before. Morning, Meriel. And I was talking to one of my students about finding her inner warrior because she was going through a lot of health stuff just now. And it reminded me of this sequence. Good morning, Janice. Morning, Anne. Good morning, Eleanor. So I won't say too much about what we're going to do until it's bang on 10 o'clock, but we're almost there already. Morning, Val. I have some pictures up on the wall behind me, but I realise that you might not be able to see very much detail, but I'm going to tell you about them. I did toy with the idea of bringing the laptop closer and then readjusting it when the sequence started, but something might go wrong, so I'm just going to leave the laptop where it is. Good morning, Loretta and Ron, I presume, yes? Oh yes, you put R and L. That's a good way to do it. Good morning, R and L. So many of the Saturday morning class, the men's class as it was, and the mixed class will have done this week's routine before, but it was probably coming up for maybe 6 months, probably even about 9 months ago since we last done it. We're all going to find our inner deity. I'm going to talk to you a bit about iconography because it's something that's very misunderstood when we look at the Hindu gods and goddesses. So it's just to try and let you know a little bit about that without going into too much depth. We could probably spend 90 minutes just describing what these deities and how they look and what they mean. It's the energies. Good morning, Mark. It's the energies from the deities. It's not the idols. It's not idol worship, as some people perhaps have thought in the past. But it's like a story without words, basically. When you look, morning, Angela. when you look at these deities, there's a whole story and there's lots and lots of different meanings behind either which animal is with them or what they have in their hands, etc. Morning, Lorraine. So, I mean, if you can see the pictures, I'm going to start with just describing them a little bit, but feel free to lie down also if it's like you can hear me describing without seeing them. I really don't want to take the laptop down off its stand and then rearrange it. So I'll describe where we're going with this week's sequence in a moment. It's 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I was saying 10, because all my other classes are 10 o'clock mostly. It's after 9 now, so I will get started. So welcome, welcome. Either make yourself comfortable in a seated position, or like I say, you can lie down. I will be referring to the pictures, but you might not be able to see them in detail. So all yoga classes, although, yeah, most yoga classes should be working on a balance of the masculine and feminine energies within. All yoga should be Kundalini. So we don't have to go to Kundalini yoga to work on rising the Kundalini. Often referred to as tantric practices, we want to raise the energies up to a merging of the masculine and feminine. Things like the way that we do Kapalabhati, the breath of fire that it would be called in a Kundalini class, it's just similar. This all helps to raise the energy. And sometimes the energies are dormant, more the masculine energy is maybe too dormant, and the feminine energies are overpowering, and vice versa. So we want to have a merging of the energies. So no matter which gender we're living out in this lifetime, it's necessary to access both male and female qualities to become whole, to become, enlightened. We need to balance these energies. So very briefly, I'll try and be as brief as I can. As I said, I could spend 90 minutes talking about this. I'm just going to mention the iconography of the deities I have here. So all the deities today are goddesses, but like every woman, they need a man to make the next generation. So Lakshmi, the first one, her consort is Vishnu, the preserver. Saraswati's is Brahma, the creator. And Durga and Kali are different manifestations of this same person, if you like, over time. And they are Shiva's consort, the destroyer when things need to come to an end, and then Vishnu preserves, Brahma creates. So create, preserve, destroy. They all need a man, and the men all need a woman. Yes? So Lakshmi, this first one here, beautiful, sitting on a great big lotus flower with 2 white elephants behind her. She has 4 arms. The arms represent Dharma, Kama, Artha, and Moksha, righteousness, desire, wealth, and liberation. She is the daughter of the one on the tiger, Durga. And Durga is the wife of Vishnu. So she's sitting on the lotus flower, and that's telling us to rise up. It's also about fertility, purity, and beauty. She has coins pouring from her hand, meaning abundance. So if you're looking for abundance of anything in your life, it's Lakshmi you call on. The elephants are representing ceaseless effort that brings prosperity. She also has one hand in the mudra like so, the hand facing forward, which is the Abhaya mudra that says, have no fear. Durga has 10 hands because she wants to tell us so much. She has, let me get to the list here. She has a sword, which represents knowledge as power. She has a lotus flower, but it's slightly closed, which means we still have space to evolve. We can all grow. She has a spinning chakra, which helps to destroy evil. She has a trident representing the 3 gunas, which are sattva, rajas, and tamas: lethargy, balance, and overactivity. She also has a mudra giving a blessing. Saraswati on the swan here. She holds a book representing knowledge. The white of the swan is purity. She's all about the arts, purity, and inner reflection. She's holding a mala to chant and come more inside. Kali always looks very, very evil, but she's the goddess of time. A bit like Shiva, she comes when you need to cut things out of your life and find regrowth. Um, Tara, she doesn't need a man in her life. She is the first woman's liber. Yes, she was the first of the goddesses to evolve. And she comes back to help us face discomforts and reap the rewards. And my Ganga here purifies all. So she would maybe be like Shiva, the Ganga, the Ganges flows from him, the energy flows. So that's a little bit, like I say, we could go on and on about that. But what we're going to do today is hopefully you'll tap in to a certain one of these energy fields. Yeah, you might think, oh, what I really feel attached to during this sequence is the Lakshmi power, the abundance, the love, the good fortune that I want to bring into my life. But perhaps you more associate with Durga riding in her tiger because you need to feel more empowered. So it'll be interesting to see how you feel. Okay, let's all lie down. If you were sitting listening, thank you very much. If you were lying down, that's also fine as long as you were listening. So lying on your back in readiness for your asana part. There will be asanas. I'm going to also mention the mantras that help you to call on these energies. You can hear them from me, or you can have them going under your breath if you want to chant them out loud. That is absolutely fine. So we're beginning with Lakshmi, abundance. Love, abundance, good fortune. We want to ignite the inner spark, find our true power, and feel the ocean of abundance within. Notice how you're breathing now as you lie back, allowing the arms to rest gently on the floor beside you, the legs to release down into the mat. Just let me check if anyone else has come on. Yeah, Warrior George is a deity. He is. Good morning, Graham and Lorna. Morning, Fiona, and morning, George number 3. George Horn, we need a nickname for you as well. We've got Dr. George and Warrior George. What are we going to call you? I think I've said that before. I need to come up with something. Excuse me. So we're working on the energy, first of all, of Lakshmi. Love and abundance, good fortune and wealth. Call on Lakshmi when you need help in these areas, when you need a little bit more abundance. Lakshmi comes to us, she's the goddess we call on in Diwali time, the Festival of Lights, and we clear our house, our doorways, etc., and make sure, a bit like our Hogmanay, yes, we clean and we clear and we let her in. But we don't just have to call on her once a year, whenever we need her. Om Shri Mahalakshmaye Namaha. So the words of the mantra will be the same, apart from we put the different deity in there. So Lakshmi, bringing you abundance and love and good fortune. So we're going to bring that in. I'll chant it for you. Feel free to, as I say, have it going in your mind or listen or out loud if you feel you would like to. So our first move is going to be a nice flowing bridge to warm up our spine. Please bend your knees now. Moving with breath and with mantra, you want your feet to be no wider than the sockets of your hips. You want them to be in a position that when you lift up your hips into bridge, your feet stay grounded. So fix your feet in quick dry and cement. Make sure the heels are maybe just an inch wider than you first place your feet down. Not the whole feet, just the heels. Kick them out slightly. And your arms are going to flow up and back every time you rise in bridge, and they'll come back down with your body every exhale. Are you ready? Pressing into feet, head and shoulders. Breathe in, tuck your tailbone, lift your arms, lift your spine, and pause. And breathe out, flow the arms and body down to the mat. Now keep that going. Keep flowing and make sure you stay with the breath. Every inhale, you're flowing up, your arms are flowing behind you. Every exhale, you're mindfully coming down through the spine. Om Shrim Mahalakshmaye Namaha. Calling on Lakshmi, please allow me to be open to the abundance of love and good fortune. Om Shrim Mahalakshmaye Namaha. Couple more times. Om Shrim Mahalakshmaye Namaha. Visualize Lakshmi like the lotus flower she sits on as an openness, like a sunrise at the root of your breastbone, allowing your heart center to blossom. Release any dark thoughts in the mind, any negativity. 2 more bridge flows, please. Om Shrim Mahalakshmaye Namaha. Om Shrim Mahalakshmaye Namaha. And then as you come down, lift your feet mindfully with your tummy muscles tight. Lift your feet and hug your knees. Let your arms reach out to the sides and then rock your legs side to side. Moving on to the right hip, the left hip, creating a nice, easy twisting sensation. And from the sway side to side, you could always bring in a nice big circle around your lower back. Let's do 3 times if you're circling, 3 times one way and 3 times the other. Helping to warm up our lower back and get it nice and supple. Then just spin your body all the way to one side and lift up to sitting. So we're still going to think about Lakshmi and all that she represents, this abundance of coins coming from her, not necessarily being money, but wealth of all kinds. The wealth of love and health and happiness is much more important than the wealth that we think of as money. But if you're in dire straits, it's okay to ask for that type of wealth too. I'm going to experiment now. I haven't, since we started doing the Facebook Lives, I haven't tried playing music. And we're going to do the 10 sun salutations, and many of you just love this piece of music, so I'm hoping it works. It will be better if I don't talk. So a quick reminder of your 12 moves. 1, sorry, my head's disappeared. I'll come back a little bit. 1, you have your mountain pose, yes? 2, your upper back bend. 3, your forward fold. 4, the right leg lunges, knee down, chest open. 5, plank. 6, knees, chest, chin. 7, baby cobra, pelvis down. 8, down dog. 9, the same foot you brought back comes forward. 10, forward fold, squeeze. 11, rising up. 12, back to 1, yes? So I'd like to not have to speak because I want you to hear the music. So give me a moment to get it on. If you would like to please rise to the front of your mat. And let's hope this works. So there's an introduction to the music first. So just stand with your feet in sun salutation position and get ready. Just listen to begin with. Arms by your side to begin.
Saraswati Namaha. Saraswati Namaha.
Pelvic floor lifted at the ready.
Saraswati.
In your hands to Anjali Mudra.
Saraswati.
Are you ready? Here we go, everyone. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Plank. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Again. Nice and slow. Left lunge. Right leg. Left side. Again. Again. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breaths.
Saraswati, Saraswati, Saraswati,
Last one. Inhale.
Saraswati, Namaha. Saraswati, Namaha. Saraswati,
Close your eyes.
Saraswati,
Hold.
Saraswati,
And release. I hope that came across okay via the internet. And you managed to do your 10 nice flowing sun salutations. Well done. Now please come to a comfortable sitting position. Although the song was talking about Saraswati, who's one of the other goddesses, we were still thinking about Lakshmi as well, so they work well together. Now please just let your energies settle down. Bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra in a seated position, keeping the heels of your hands together. The tips of your thumbs and the tips of your baby fingers. Open the others like a lotus flower. Let it be nice and open, and as you bow your head and close your eyes, let the tips of your thumbs touch your breastbone and hold here, as if looking deep into the lotus flower. Om Shrim Mahalakshmaye Namaha. Om Shrim Mahalakshmaye Namaha. Be open to receive whatever comes your way. Apart from negativity, let that go. Close the hands back into Anjali Mudra and lift up your gaze, blinking your eyes and releasing your hands. Well done. Body nicely warmed up now. It's time to move on to Ma Durga, who comes riding in her tiger when you need her. If you need Durga, you call on her and she will bring, she's called the Cosmic Warrior. She helps us to find our deepest reserves of strength. She is the empowering goddess. She is invincible. We're going to do a couple of things here, and two of them, the first two, you've already done a few of in your 10 sun salutations. I want you to do your knees, chest, chin, and we're going to make sure you all get this knees, chest, chin. It drives me crazy, guys and girls. You want your hands to be spread out like the claws of her tiger, but flat down, like a big pad of a tiger's paws, as she rides in and fights for justice. She brings us kindness and harmony. She is fearless. So, knees, chest, chin. First of all, quick demo. Hands nice and wide, like I say. Toes curled under. Now listen. These toes do not leave the floor. When you go down like this, your feet shouldn't come up. So super glue them, or that quick drying cement again is now under your toes. You begin, in fact, just come and do it with me so you don't cool down too much. You begin in the cow shape. So your toes are digging in. The knees are under your hips and your hands are under your shoulders. If you find bending the elbows and keeping them in really difficult for your shoulders, It might be you need to go wider, so that's okay, but just don't let your elbows go out to the sides. So begin with nice straight arms. And as you inhale, lift up the hips behind you, stick out your bottom and stick out your chin and chest. Yes, exhale here for a moment. This is the shape of your knees, chest, chin. The only difference is now you come a bit more forward and drawing up on your tummy and pressing into hands and feet, you tap your chest and chin to the floor. And then we're going to push back up. Can we do that 5 times? Think of being empowered, strong, fearless. Have no fear. So we've got this shape. Let's do it again. Inhale, hips up behind you, chest and chin forward. Move more forward, suck in your tummy. Exhale, tap chin and chest to the floor. Tap. Keep your thumbs down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hold. If your thumbs come up and your elbows go out, you probably need your hands wider. So roll into thumb and index finger, roll in the elbow creases. Ready, now 4 a little bit faster. So breathing into the cow pose, come more forward. Breathing out, tap. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap down. One more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, tap down. Now press through like you do in the sun salutation to Bhujangasana, the cobra. And pressing firmly into your hands, strike. Bring the breastbone forward. From there, push with your hands, rise up onto your knees, tuck the toes again. Downward facing dog. Lift your hips, pressing your hips up and back. Kick the heels out slightly, hold your down dog. Good morning, everyone. Are we all wide awake now? Shifting the energy, the Kundalini, from the tailbone of the spine where it lies dormant, like a coiled serpent. And through our yoga practice, our asanas, our pranayamas, and our meditation, we awaken the Kundalini. Please bend your knees and look forward. You don't have to jump, but if you can, jump so your feet are near to your hands. 1, 2, 3, jump. Now, kicking your heels out slightly, toes in slightly, look forward. And with a nice deep bend in your knees, begin to lift to Utkatasana, the chair pose. Rising up. Tailbone is down. Slightly, if you feel your lower back is tight, slightly cuddle it between your legs and lift up your chest. Gaze forward. Be like Durga. Ride in on your tiger. Be empowered. Inhale one more time. And as you exhale, reach forward beyond your feet and place your big tiger's feet down. That's neat, that's neat, that's neat, that's neat. I really love your tiger feet. I know I'm ancient. Okay, jump back to downward facing dog. Tummy tight, jump. Lift your hips. Press your heels back. Downward facing dog. Get ready for your Utkatasana. Look forward, walk or jump. Keep a little gap between your feet. Jump. Toes spinning in a little. And then big bend in your knees. Look forward, slide your shoulder blades down and rise. Powerful, strong, ready to face life's challenges. Hold your head up high, everyone. Hold your head up. It's a singing day. I know it's another singing day today. Hold your head up high. Reach for the sky. Allow your heart to open to everything life has to offer. Now this time, fold over your legs and relax. Fold over. Om Shri Mahadurgaye Namaha. Om Shri Mahadurgaye Namaha. If these are the qualities you need today, you call on Ma Durga, the cosmic warrior, to find your inner strength. Please bend your knees really deeply and work your way down to sitting for another mudra. This one's a little bit trickier, so I always have to refer to my notes. It is the mudra called Abhaya. Abhaya Hridaya, fearless heart, abidance in the heart. Abhaya Hridaya. Grow your courage, have a fearless heart. Take your right wrist over your left, everyone, and bring your hands close to your heart center. So your palms are facing to the opposite walls, yes? Now, take your pointer fingers and take right around left, wrap it around, curl it around, yes? Right index finger over left. Do the same with your middle fingers. Use the right one to wrap around the left, curl them in. Don't do anything with your ring fingers. Now try and do the same with your pinkies. Right wrapped around left. Extend the ring fingers and the thumbs and take the tips of them together. So it should look like this. Yes. So your index fingers are wrapped around, your middle fingers are wrapped around, and your pinkies are wrapped around. The ring fingertip is on the thumb tip. And bring those hands to your heart center. Close your eyes and dip your chin. Fearless heart. If you have some fear, then you need Ma Durga in your corner. Om Shrim Mahadurgaye Namaha. Om Shrim Mahadurgaye Namaha. And blink your eyes and release your mudra. Well done. Okay, come back to your hands and knees. The mantra that was playing in the sun salutations was to Saraswati. She is our next deity. Saraswati is the one on the swan. Inspiration, knowledge of the arts. Please reach your legs back out into a plank position and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Stretch it out. With a nice deep breath in, sweep your right knee forward onto the floor beside your right wrist and lengthen your left leg further back. Sleeping swan. Adjust your right ankle into flexion, which will help to protect your knee. But remember, the option to this, as it was last week as well, is to lie on your back in the thread the needle variation. So you could be here, perhaps with a strap around your left leg. Okay, where possible, you're coming to sleeping swan. So getting the leg in the position that gives you just the right amount of stretch in the right buttock, and coming down, either use blocks for your elbows, maybe like this, or if you can, all the way flat down onto your chest, where you can use your hands as a pillow, or you can have your arms out straight. And sinking down here, now that we're thoroughly warmed up, into a more static pose. Saraswati rides a white swan. Oh, ride a white swan. So we are being a swan here. She is the big sister of Lakshmi and Parvati goddesses. She gives us inspiration. She awakens us to the knowledge of all the arts, to music, to literature, everything. Try and relax deeply here, but there has to be some work going on here. So your frontal left hip bone has to roll inwards and downwards. Inwards towards the groin, downwards towards your mat on the long leg, left leg behind you. On the right leg, you're probably feeling sensation around inner thigh and groin, and definitely, I would imagine, in the right outer buttock, the gluteus medius. We worked on that a lot yesterday if you were in class, and last Saturday. Now I want to give you an add-on here, so it is an extra that you can try, and if you don't like it, you come back to the swan. It's a twist in the swan. So coming up onto your hands, we have our right leg forward. We're going to bring our left arm and thread it through under our right arm. Have a look for a moment before you go, because you might not know the next bit and then you won't be able to see me. So the left arm is going through until behind my left ear comes to the mat. Then the right arm goes right round, and look, I bind my big toe, the front, the right big toe with my right hand. And it adds extra stretch to the right buttock. Off you go. Give it a try. You can always come back to here. Left arm under the right, as far over to the right as you can. Back of the right side of your head, behind your right ear, left ear on the floor. Left arm through, left ear down. Right arm behind your waist, and maybe you can bind your right big toe. Hold and breathe. Om Shri Mahasaraswataye Namaha. Om Shri Saraswataye Namaha. Om Shri Saraswataye Namaha. Inspiration. Do you need inspired right now? Then Saraswati is your girl. Okay, release your twist if you have one, and press firmly into your nice spread out fingers. Lift up like the pigeon pose, and then slide your left leg closer. Bring your right leg under to come onto all fours, and circle your hips a few times. Nice big circles. Change direction. Fluid movement. And then let's come into the basic sleeping swan first, and then maybe into the twist as we slide our left knee to our left wrist and help the left foot over with flexion at the ankle to the right side of the mat. Now bringing the frontal right hip bone forward and down. Slide your right leg further back, and then come forward and down to your depth. You might still be on your hands. You can always put your elbows on the blocks, so you can be a little bit higher like this. Elbow on each block, chin in hands. You want to make sure you're not keeping your hips up. So don't resist, let it go. Drop down, even though it's going to be achy, especially in the left buttock, I would imagine, for most of us. Saraswati, holding the book of true knowledge, riding the white swan to show purity. She has a veena, a musical instrument that represents all the creative arts, and a mala, the beads for inner reflection, meditation. She also has a pot of water to purify. Saraswati with her consort Brahma are responsible for creation. Brahma is known as the creator, and he takes all the glory. You know, when you read about Brahma, Brahma is the creator. Well, what does a man need to make creation? He needs a woman. So Brahma and Saraswati. Now, if you would like to try the bind on this side, you come up onto your hands. You take the right arm this time through to the left until you're behind your right ear on the floor. Maybe you'll need a block under your head, which I should have mentioned on the other side. And then you sweep your left arm round so that your left shoulder is coming above your right shoulder. Your chest is open to the left, and you're maybe grasping your left hand onto your left big toe. 2 fingers in between big toe and the next. Bind with your thumb, creating a seal so the energy keeps flowing, doesn't escape. You don't need to do the bind. If it's too uncomfortable or you keep rolling over, remember to keep the other leg nice and firmly down through the top of the foot. It's a big stretch, but oddly nice. I hope you agree. A few more breaths. In a moment, we'll move on to the goddess Tara, the first woman's liver. She's a goddess of compassion and helps us to face discomfort and reap the rewards. Is that what you're doing right now? You're facing discomfort in Sleeping Swan to reap the rewards of more open hips. Come up onto your hands, everyone, releasing. And then slide your right leg a little bit closer, left leg back to join it. Give your hips a wiggle. And then tucking your toes under, shoulders forward over wrists, legs extended back. Lift your hips up to downward facing dog. Now from your downward facing dog, raise your right leg as high as you can. Lift. Press your chest and face towards your left leg. Breathing in, reach your right leg higher, and breathing out, bend the knee. Bring your right heel as close to your left buttock as you can as you open your torso to the right. Looking through under your right arm, keep both hands flat. Press down into all the fingers. Press back towards your left leg and twist and twist and twist. Try and feel that you're trying anyway, to get your right hip stacked above your left hip and open your heart. Send out compassion into the world, into the room around you, into the person next to you if you're working with your partner, and let that compassion flow out through the walls of your room. Now bring the right foot down and ground it. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then feeling where your right foot is, press the heel backwards. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee deeply. Get the left heel close to the right buttock. Squeeze it in. Now press back towards the right leg with your chest and face. And open up. Look under your left hand. Keep pressing your left underarm, I should say. Keep pressing both hands down. Really press. Really press. Opening the heart to the left side of your room now. Who's on your left? What's on your left? Let the love and compassion shine from your chest. 2 more breaths here. And on the second exhale, bring the foot back down. Take a tiny rest now. Bring both knees down. Send your hips back. Balasana. You can keep your hands reaching forward, or you can bring them under your face or down by your feet. Just taking a couple of breaths. Om Shri Mahataraye Namaha. Tara, face the discomfort and reap the rewards. Goddess of compassion. Om Shri Mahataraye Namaha. And then come up to just sitting on your knees for a moment, and I'll show you where we're going. A tiny bit more about Tara, because she's fascinating. Whenever you see Tara, I've got another one of her somewhere. I think it's in my bedroom. She's always pictured with her legs like she is there. So she has always got one leg forward and our hands up in readiness. And she's ready to leap back down to earth from her enlightened status when we call on her. She's always got that leg ready. She's ready to come to us. But sometimes we just forget to ask. So when you need a little bit more love and compassion, you find it by calling on Ma Tara. Okay, from your three-legged dog this time, have a little look. You're going to breathe in the right leg up and breathe out, bring it forward into a lunge. You're going to place the left knee down and rise up until your hands are on your knee. You're going to take your torso to the right, and maybe this will be it for you. Just the right arm behind the back. This is fine. Or as you lean a little bit more forward, perhaps you can catch a hold of your left foot and roll your torso around to the right. Shall we try that together? So, back into your downward facing dog. Looking through between your knees, kicking your heels out slightly. Remember, your ankles should be nicely creased when you look at them, so that you really know you're pressing back as much as you can into your legs. Here we go. Right leg in the sky. Inhale, lift, 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 lift. Look forward, squeeze your tummy, mindful of your sacroiliac joints. Exhale. Right foot lands forward. Spread the toes. Bring the left leg way back, everyone, and place the knee down. Relax the toes if you can. Let them go. Press into the body of the foot. You could also have a block under your left hand to give you more space. And you bring yourself up, right hand on the thigh. Let the right knee go a little more forward and look over your shoulder. As you lean forward, so when we try to lift our left foot, we shouldn't go back like this to try and get it, okay? We go more forward, and then the left foot comes up and we reach it. So try not to go back. If that's impossible, don't do it. Just do the twist with your right arm behind your waist. Hold and breathe. Keep this inner thigh nice and strong towards the midline. Face discomfort to reap the rewards. Open your heart to love and compassion for all. Om Shri Mahataraye Namaha. Gently untwist. As your foot lands, land with the toes curled under. Place your hands down for downward facing dog. You can have your block ready to your right for the next one. And then sweep back to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold and breathe. Press your torso closer to your legs. Press the heels in a backwards and downwards position. Ready, left leg up, everyone. Inhale, higher, 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 higher. Mindful of your lower back, pull up your pelvic floor. Exhale, left foot lunge. Land with the toes nicely spread. Wiggle the right leg even further back. Get a fully stretched right leg. And place the knee down. Flatten the foot so the top of the foot is down. 5 toenails on the floor. Hold, reach forward through chin and chest, through groin. Keep this frontal right hip bone inwards and forwards. Maybe, to give you more space, right hand on the block. Left hand on the thigh, come up. Don't let the thigh move out to the side, so ground the inner foot. When we press down on the big toe, the energy comes up the inner leg and through into the groin, into our kidneys and all the way up our spine. Bring the left arm behind your back. Now don't come back, come forward, come forward. Left arm behind, rotate, look around. Lift your chin, don't look down at the ground, look straight behind you. Try and twist your torso more left, and for those who can, keeping the body reaching forward. Lift the right foot, catch it with your left hand, pull in. Try and look behind you. Keep space in your throat, keep the chin lifted. Couple more. Face the discomfort to reap the rewards. And as you release your right foot, if it's lifted, cuddle the toes under. If it was still on the floor, cuddle the toes under. Bring the hands nice and flat and wide. And Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Stretch it out equally, everyone. Press those heels back. Either stay in down dog a few more breaths, or feel free to come back to child's pose as I tell you about moving on to Kali now, sometimes called the black one. She has 4 arms holding weapons. She's holding the head of a demon, a necklace made of skulls, and a belt of human hands. She's a goddess of time and remover of fear. Strange, more difficult to understand the iconography of this one. Okay, from your down dog, come down onto your knees. So I'm not sure again how well you can see the picture, but I can put these names up. In fact, I think I put a picture of this on the board so you can always zoom in and look up the goddesses. And yes, it looks awful. There's a brilliant story behind this picture. It's too long to go into. But this head of the demon and the sword and the way that she looks, the skulls and the arms, it's all about chopping away at the ego. If you said the ego, well done. It's, you know, we need a certain amount of ego just for everyday living, but when the ego overrides everything, that's when it becomes a problem. So it's reminding us to keep chopping it down, get rid of that overriding ego. So there's much more to the story, but that will do us for now. So I'd like us to emulate Kali in the goddess squat. Legs are nice and warm now. Bring yourself onto the long side of your mat and flick your toes to turn out. You can adjust the position of your feet to make it doable for your knees here. Bring your arms to goalposts and squat down. So I think I need to tip the camera up just a little bit more here since I'm standing. Okay, so a nice wide squat. And you're aiming eventually to have the tailbone in line with the back of the knees. So maybe you need to go wider. Maybe your toes need to be more out or more in, but try and have your knees over the middle toe and try not to be like this. So you don't want to tip forward, get up. So maybe you're not such in a deep squat, and that's okay. Just be upright. Open the heart, open the hips, settle into the pose. Now Kali in the picture, and most often is depicted with her tongue, stay in your goddess squat while I chat, with her tongue sticking out and dripping of the blood of the demons. She lapped up all the blood to stop the demons recreating. Yes, she cut them down and she lapped up the blood. Sounds awful, but it's when you look into the meaning of the story, it makes sense. So we are going to stick our tongue out in lion's breath here. Let me come this way, actually. Yes, that's better. So you'll be able to see my funny face in lion, and I'm picturing all your funny faces in lion breath. So you stick out your tongue with an exhale, and you look up to your third eye between your eyebrows. Then as you breathe in, you relax your eyes and take in your tongue, like this. We're going to do that 5 times. So come up, give your legs a little wiggle. And every time you do the lion breath, you try and get deeper in your squat. It might happen automatically. That's what I'd hope for. Okay, you ready? Arms to goalposts, chest expanded. Look the world straight in the eye. Squat. Get ready. A mild squat to begin with. You've got 5 breaths here. Breathe in deeply through the nose. Look up between your eyebrows. Breathe out, tongue out. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, lion's breath. Two more, deeper if you can. Really push that breath out through the mouth. One more, breathe in. Look between your eyebrows. Inhale, rise up. Hands to the hips. Exhale, wiggle the feet in. Shake out the legs. Well done, well done. Now we're coming into the Malasana squat, so it's deeper. And if you can't keep your heels down, you might wobble a little bit. So you could always roll up the back of your mat to raise your heels. Or if you've got some of those flat blocks, or if you have a wedge block, pop that under your heels. And then bring your feet narrower and get right down, right down. Wiggle your way into this pose, low squat. Now bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Press outwards through the inner thighs with your upper arms. And from here, bow your head and bring your thumbs to press lightly between your eyebrows. Close your eyes and press lightly on the third eye, please. Om Shri Mahakalaye Namaha. Om Shri Mahakalaye Namaha. It's a difficult one to get your tongue round. Kali, Kali, Ma Kali. Om Shri Mahakali Namaha. Breathe. Ask for clarity, for forgiveness to flow through you. In a prayer from your third eye to Ma Kali, ask for clarity. Breathing in, release. Breathing out, push up to standing and shake out your legs. Listen, we're going into wide leg forward bend. You might want to sit down a moment till I demonstrate something actually. This is your option. Depending where you are on the wide leg forward bend, you might have a block or two and be here. So you're wider than you were for the goddess squat. You might bring your forearms onto blocks, or you might bring your hands, now not your forearms, but your hands down into the floor, lifting your hips up and head down. Now I'm going to go quiet here, and first of all, I'm going to tuck in my t-shirt. That gives you a clue. This is not for everyone. Yes. Option. Maybe you're nearly there, but you're a little bit scared. So how about you bring your feet in and you climb onto your forearms, upper arms, I should say, not forearms. Yeah? Okay. So 3 options: standing, wide leg forward bend, just straight forward. Once you get there, let the legs come onto their tippy toes and rise up. Make sure you've got space in front of you just in case you tumble over. If you do, just don't panic, tuck in your chin and let it roll. Number 3, maybe climb up onto your upper arms. So you've got easiest, hardest, middle-ish. Off you go. Standing in a nice wide leg position, kick out your heels. This is still Kali, fearless. Okay, take your time and forward fold. Rotating through the hips, bringing hands to blocks or floor. Looking through between your bent elbows, and for some of you, now if you're putting your head down, you're not rocking all the way forwards and taking all your weight on your head. So it should be distributed between the 2 feet, the 2 hands, and the crown of your head. You must, listen and hear me, you must slide your shoulder blades back and down and press your breastbone forward before you take weight on your head. Your neck should feel strong, your shoulders supporting you. Don't lift them up to your ears, slide them down. Press the points of the shoulder blades towards your chest so your chest moves forward and your back lengthens, no roundness in your back. Work on that. If nothing else, just work on that. And then for some of you, maybe you're already there, your feet have floated up. It should feel natural. You shouldn't be kicking, no jumping, no using a wall, just float. And if your feet come an inch off the floor, just celebrate that. That's enough. Another few seconds to do what you're doing. Don't hurt yourself. Keep a long, strong neck pressed down through your shoulders. Few more moments, work away, no forcing, be gentle with your body. And when you are done with that, maybe keep your hands on the blocks or the floor now and wiggle your feet into a comfortable position. Place your hands on your thighs with bent knees and slowly rise up. Well done. And once you're up, come all the way down. We're coming to the last goddess of this morning, our last iconology lesson, and that is my Ganga. She's riding on an alligator in the Ganges, and she is helping us to purify. You call upon my Ganga to cleanse your sins and secure your place in the next realm, whatever you want to call it, heaven or wherever. So we're going to do a little bit around the hips now. Can you see how she's sitting in a bit like Tara? She has that foot forward in readiness to serve. How can I help you? She's saying. So my Ganga, very beautiful. They're all beautiful goddesses, even if you don't think Kali looks very beautiful. I think she is. So my Ganga, the postures here are going to be about flowing. I'd like you, first of all, to just check in on the hips. I know you've done a lot around the hips, but let's just do a little bit of rocking. Rocking the right leg. So lift your right foot. Again, we did this last week, so you've had practice. Trying to bring the foot as high as your knee, and your knee at least as high as your hip. So here is fun. Rocking like a boat in the Ganges. How many of you have been in the Ganges? I'll give you probably one guess what I did the first time I stepped foot in the Ganges. What would you guess? I had a little cry. I couldn't believe I was at the Ganges, and I've been several times now. It's very, very powerful. Very. It's supposed to cleanse all our sins. From rocking this gentle boat, maybe we can hug into our chest. And then from here, keeping our left leg straight, bring it more in front of you if it was out to the side, and taking the right heel right into the groin, so your knee is really bent now. Place the right foot down on its little toe edge and turn down. Let the right knee, if it doesn't touch the floor, pop something under it, a cushion or a block, so that it's connected to the earth. Imagine you're connected to the riverbed of the Ganges. Turn your torso forward. Breathing in, reach up your arms and flowing with your breath. Don't go all the way, just breathe out a little bit forward. Now bring those right ribs more forward. Inhale again, reach. Exhale, come deeper. If your back starts to round, just drop your hands. Even if you're here, this is fine. Or keep going, maybe another 2 breaths until you can't go any further. And then holding on to the outside edges, so inside and outside. Right hand onto big toe edge, left onto left. And you could always use a strap if you want to go a little bit deeper, but your hands are not reaching where you'd like them to. You can have a strap around your foot. Breathe here. Spinning the right inner thigh outwards to the earth. Now with every exhale, I want you to lift and tone your belly. So you're breathing in, your belly relaxes. You're breathing out, lift the belly. And with the lift of your belly, you might just go a tiny bit more forward. Breathe and tone. Now listen, keeping your legs as they are, rise up a little and watch. So I've got my hands on my left foot. If you're using a strap, you'll drop it now. It doesn't matter where your left hand is. Watch first. I'm going to flow. The right arm is coming up. Let's bring my Durga back in, like a tiger's paw. You paw the right hand to the floor behind your right hip. You elegantly and smoothly lift the hips, keeping the right leg grounded. You're up on your left toes. The hips go high and the left arm sweeps overhead. You come back down, raising the right hand from behind you, revolving and coming back down. And we're doing that 5 times. You ready? So come back to your forward fold. Forget about straps, so wherever your hands are. Big breath in, sweep the right arm up and over, exhale it to the earth. Inhale, lift hips, lift the left arm overhead, exhale, look up at the sky. Inhale again, exhale, come down, sweep the torso forward and over the left leg. Keep flowing, rising the right arm up and finding the floor, the left arm, the left hip ground into right shin and left foot, down, spin and forward fold. Rising up and over. Om Shri Mahagangaye Namaha. Om Shri Mahagangaye Namaha. One more time. Forward fold. And last flow. Om Shri Mahagangaye Namaha. Forward fold and hold. Relax here. And then gently slide your way back up to upright. Stretch out your right leg. Well done. How's the time? It's fine. We're just on time. It's good. Bend your left leg in for a little rocking your boat. It's usually rocking the cradle, but since it's the river we're speaking about, it can be a boat. Rock the leg. So here, holding the foot and knee is fine. Or maybe bring it higher towards chest height, making sure there's no pain in the knee. The more you practice this, like I said yesterday and last Saturday, the better results you'll get in your hips. But you shouldn't give up, you know. You may be doing it every day for a month or two and you think, oh, nothing's happening. And it's in that moment where you might give up that you miss the magic. And then something begins to just get a bit better. What's the word I'm looking for? Develop. Something begins to develop that you might miss. It's like sometimes we're striving for something and we're going along that path and maybe we're studying and then we just say, oh, I'm giving this up. And at that moment where you decide to give up, you've probably just the next day you would have turned the corner. It's such a shame that the human personality is often just, it's too difficult and we just give up. But we all have to struggle. What was it before? Face discomfort to reap the rewards. Call on these qualities that we all have lying dormant within us. Okay, bending this knee really deeply now, your left knee. So your calf, the lower leg, touches the hamstrings, the upper thigh. Squeeze, rotate from the left hip socket and put something under the leg, like a cushion or something or a block, if it doesn't go to the floor. Spin round, bring the ribs level to face your right leg and inhale, rising up, reaching forward, exhale, pause. Have you started to go a little squint here or rounded? Try and press your breastbone forward, breathe and reach. Reach towards me, hold my hands. I sometimes do this with students, just get them to stay about here and pull their hands to feel the length coming. When will I next be able to hold your hands, everyone? I want to hold your hand. Reach forward. I am offering one-to-one yoga sessions in my back garden yoga studio if anyone wants to take me up on that. And come down over the leg. So if you're not sure if your asana practice or your pranayama practice or anything about yoga is in the right direction, then come and see me. Come and see me in a one-to-one. Of course, the weather has to be right, and you've only got this coming week and next before I'm off for 2 weeks. And then I'll keep you updated of where I am and what availability I have to see you. So get in there quick. Most afternoons I'm free. You ready to flow? Release your right foot. Inhale, raise your left arm and ground it to the floor behind you. Exhale, keeping the left leg grounded, coming onto the right foot. Inhale, lift the right hip, open the heart, look up to the sky. Exhale, down, forward fold. 4 more. Reach up with the left and place the left on the floor. Reach up with the right, lift the right hip and open. A little bit like Wild Thing, yes? And come down, revolve the torso, forward fold. Keep going. Om Shri Mahagangaye Namaha. Om Shri Mahagangaye Namaha. Shall we do one more? I think that's maybe 5, but I fancy one more. Do you fancy doing it with me? Om Shri Mahagangaye Namaha. Now come into your forward fold and hold wherever it takes you. Use your strap if you wish. Keep the 5 toes pointing up to the ceiling. Roll the right inner thigh towards the left sole of foot. Don't let the left foot go under your thigh. It's against your inner thigh. Heel as close to the groin as your knee allows. Nice and gently rising up. Bring your right knee into a bend, placing both feet flat on the floor. If you have a block, take one now between your feet. Can either be standing up like this or flatter down, and then grip it with the soles of your feet. Draw the heels towards you and wrapping your fingers around the underside of the block and little toe. So it might be tipped up slightly, which is good, because then maybe as you go forward, not today, maybe your head might go to the block. Maybe if my feet, move the feet further away because we're winding down, and then maybe your head will come down. You can have the block higher, like I say, and then holding on to feet and block. Three more breaths there, everyone. When you've completed your 3 breaths, rise up and just come to your comfortable sitting position for a few more moments, and then we'll lie down. So legs however you're most comfortable, but it's best to have them tucked in some way. So you could be kneeling on a bolster, so your feet are in by your hips. You could cross your ankles, and remember, the higher up your hips are, the more likely it is that your knees will go to the floor, and therefore your hips will relax. We're going to finish with the breath of fire, the Kapalabhati breath, where the stomach pumps. If you have any issues with the stomach, like ulcers, etc., if you have high blood pressure, do half the amount, much slower and much milder. So you can still, but if you have any issues here, then slower and milder. I don't think any of you are pregnant, but if you were, you wouldn't do this breath. You could just practice lifting the pelvic floor gently on each exhale, relaxing it on the inhale. Otherwise, we are going to pump the belly 27 times. So again, it's division of that special number 108. After the 27, you're going to take a really big breath in, drawing up on all the bandhas, drawing up on pelvic floor, up in the navel, and up with your breastbone to bring your chin down, retaining the big inhale for about 30 seconds. In fact, we'll do 27 seconds. Before you exhale, you must lift your chin. This breath of fire, this Kundalini breath, this Kapalabhati, is all about raising the energy. The moment of orgasm is the rising of Kundalini, where you just feel that moment of being out of your mind and in somewhere very, very special, yes? That moment, sometimes just a moment of like, whoa, where am I? You've been taken to another realm. This is Shiva and Shakti merging, yes? From the top of the head to the tailbone, the two energies meet, whoosh, and then in a shower of beautiful energy, leaving you feeling what it must feel like, for a moment anyway, to be enlightened. Are you ready? You can bring one hand on your belly to help you push the belly in when you exhale. Remember, it must go in when you exhale. Yes? Or take your hands in Chin Mudra, the thumb and index finger touching, like you're pinching something between the index fingertip and thumb, and stretch out your arms. Close your eyes. Breathe out. You ready? 27 breaths. And relax, breathe in and out. Ready for the hold, breathing in. At the top of your inhale, draw up your pelvic floor, pull in your tummy, bring your breastbone up and tuck in your chin. Lift your chin and exhale, relaxing your bandhas. Take your right hand, still in the mudra, and bring where the index fingertip and thumb tip are touching to the center of your chest with the other three fingers up. In this place where we meet the two energies at the heart center, hold your head up nice and high. Lengthen up through your spine. Simply be. Just be here. With as little disturbance to your energies as possible, release yourself down into Shavasana in order to let the energies flow through your body. Release, relax. Just a few minutes, everyone. Relax, relax. That was the Ahamkara mudra. And now you should feel like there's light expanding from your heart center into every cell of your body. And that around you there's an aura of beautiful light. Bathe in the light of your own radiance. Does your aura have a color? whether we are identifying the masculine or the feminine in the body that we find ourselves in right now, we all have the Shiva and the Shakti energy within us. Shiva, the masculine, at the crown chakra, and Shakti at the base, the root chakra. And when Shakti moves up the body from orgasm, Shakti moves back to Shiva, and we access pure insight, inspiration, universal intelligence. We're connecting with our source. We're healing the masculine and feminine energies within, making us stronger, making us more balanced in life. Feel the energy from your heart center to your whole body. Feel the aura of light around you shining brightly. Radiate with light and love. Tvameva mata Jabita Tvameva Tvameva Bandujasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vija Dravanam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Vija Dravanam Tvameva Tvameva Vija Dravanam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Swaha. Yogis and yoginis, Shivas and Shaktis of Kippi, it's time to finish our practice for now. Give your body a stretch, your eyes a blink. Rolling over onto your left side to be gentle to your heart after lying down and coming to say goodbye. I hope that there wasn't an overload of information and that you've managed to understand these gods and goddesses as more than just pretty pictures, and what they're trying to tell us. It's so important, and they have so many messages to give us. They were there before language was there, these messages of symbolic messages passed on through the ages. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and of course your physical practice. Any feedback, any questions, comments, pop them up on the page here and I'll read them throughout the day. Thank you so much. Namaste. Namaste. Have a wonderful weekend.